All right, welcome back. We'll continue to talk about Doris Ogala. I see a video here from a lady, and she has something to say. Let's listen to it, and let's take it from there. And while we're at that, Marriott, I think you have a mod badge. If you can help me block Benjamin. Oh, maybe you can't. We're on the other platform. All right, I'll do it.
This Doris Ogala, I'm sorry to say, is a disgrace to womanhood. When I tell you guys that men are going through a lot in marriage, if a lot of men comes out to say what they are going through in the hands of the women they marry, a lot of women will forever remain single because a lot of men will see it as a high risk to get married. Let's listen to this together.
That was my ex-husband's bed. You were touching yourself on your ex-husband's bed, and you sent the video to me.
She's touching herself on her husband's bed to send to another man. She got married to her husband. She is not in love with her husband. She's in love with another man. You accept to marry a man you don't love while you are in love with another man, and you are there in that marriage, depriving him of his rights, disrespecting him, cheating on him in his bed with another man, and you think your life will get better. Let's listen to this again.
Thank you, Darren Marriott. Thank you.
Your ex-boyfriend asks you to leave your marriage and you left. How can someone be beautiful and don't have sense? My empathy and courage goes to your ex-husband, Oga Kingsley. You really went through a lot. Thank God you finally move on happily. Only God knows what your ex-husband went through.
All right, so this young lady, her name is, it looks like it says Delphine Sanjo. Okay, I don't know who she is, but she's talking about Doris Ogala, and she's telling her story, which she told herself. So as soon as in that last video, we talked about Doris Ogala, who is now actively blackmailing Pastor Chris Okafor, who was the ex-boyfriend, according to her. So now this young lady is pulling out some of the stories that people have seemed to forgot a little bit, right? Because remember, she said she was married to another person who was like a childhood friend who she never loved. So here's something I wanted to extract out of this, right? Marrying a person that you never loved, marrying a person that you're not in love with, to be more precise, okay? Marrying a person that you're not in love with. I was having a conversation the other day, and somebody was actually saying, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you grow to love people. I'm telling you, the kind of things that we say, I think a lot of it, again, like I said, when it comes to us Nigerians, is a bunch of English grammar issues, okay? I feel like if there's a way to get back to using Yoruba, Igbo, native language, at least Pidgin English, which I am terrible at, to teach some of this stuff, I think people will get a lot more value than using English language. Because even if I know how to speak all the English in the world, some words are misinterpreted wrongly to mean something else. But I feel like the nuances that we really need to understand when it comes to relationships are inside of our native tongue. And may God help us when it comes to that, because I don't know where to start from with that. But back to this young lady, marrying a person that you're not in love with. Well, it takes certain types of people, okay? But they're not always all the way back. Some of them have been here in Yankee for 30 years. It's just that you can remove some people from the village, but you can't remove the village from inside of them. I'm talking about not grammar per se right now, mindset-wise, and they believe that that's a possible thing. Like you can actually pull that off. Like you can actually. So again, being in love with the person, we're talking purely affection. We're talking emotional. We're talking about being potentially infatuated by the person, right? When you are getting married to a person, you might be infatuated by the idea of them or by the idea of what the future holds, but you're infatuated, right? The idea is that it's purely emotional, but there is loving a person meaning you understand that comes with sacrifice. You like a person enough to want to do life with them, and you're sacrificing and you're giving, you're compromising, and but you're also doing that from a place of abundance, meaning it's not something that if it's true love, you can't run out of it because you're also loving yourself first. You see, there's a lot of jimbo that I just said, right? And that can get very confusing easily. And before we get to the next time we're having this conversation, you notice that it's easy to lose all of the ideas I've just said, okay? But I learned this, the first time I read about this was probably in the book 5 Love Languages years ago. And it's really, there's a difference between loving the person and being in love with them, okay? You're in love with potentially a fake version of them, just the best foot they're putting forward, right? So, but we need you to be in love with the person you're marrying. We can't say, oh, we're going to go into a marriage and then you're not really in love with the person that you will grow in love. You're counting on the fact that you will grow to like this person. That's precisely what we're talking about. The very minimum you can do is make sure you like this person. When I say like, I'm not talking like as a friend. I'm talking about when you like a boy when you were in GSS2, when you were in SS2. I'm talking about just liking them, liking that person, right? At minimum, right? But oh no, it's kind of ugly. Right? You see a Paned, you say, okay, because Paned is handsome. I found out that a bunch of people find him handsome yesterday. And that, again, it's subjective, right? So they have the right to feel that way. But let's say you find him ugly and you say, oh, I will grow to love him. No, you won't. You won't. At the very minimum, even if you would, it is dangerous to go into a life partnership with a person with such mindset. And we have a lot of Nigerian girls doing that today, especially if there's resources, there's money, there's status, there's fame involved. They talk themselves into, or they allow a mother, shout out to Regina's mother. They allow a mother to talk them into, don't worry, who love help. These are the things we say by extension, all the way. Sometimes we say it all the way to saying love is not enough. Who cares about love? Who cares about happiness? We say all these things and it sounds cute on the surface, but it's going to bite you in the butt. Because sometimes all you have left when you enter crisis inside of a marriage, all you have left is the friendship. That's what you have left, just the friendship. And that friendship is good enough to get you through some trying times. And then, of course, you can grow to love that person again. You can also go, but you need some kind of baseline. You can't just go in there empty and just say it's just going to happen. And that's what Doris said she did. She went to go marry, and guess what happened? She started filming herself, her noodles, on the matrimonial bed and sending it to a boyfriend who is the pastor. May God help us. These kind of things are happening in the world. Let me know what your thoughts are about that. I want to move on to some other trendy stories around the world. So in terms of empathizing with the young man, I hope she's fine, but I'm not sure if I know enough about their relationship to be able to empathize with her. I don't have enough of that story, but it's quite crazy for anybody to go into a marriage to a person that you don't like. Please, let's avoid that altogether. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified. Let's move on to some other trendy stories around the world. I'll be right back. This is Ola, Man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.